Hello and welcome to my review of the Orks Snagga Boyz. Now currently the only way to pick these up is in the Beast Snagga Orks army set, which will cost you £125. It's a fantastic set, giving you a large amount of value over buying minis separately. And this is one of the brand new core units for Orks. The format of this review is as follows. I'll look at the models individually, I'll go through some size comparisons, and then I will go through their entire rules found in the new codex. So you're getting a total of 20 Beast Snagga Boyz in the set. Coincidentally, that is the maximum number a unit can be comprised of, which is kind of at odds with Orks being a horde army. You know, I would have expected them to have at least 30. You can have 30 Gretchen and you can have 30 Ork boys. Would have been good to have them in a group of 30 as well. But anyway, this is 10 of them. I know that there's a question that's on the tip of your tongue, which is super. Can I customize these at all with the other 10, considering they are monopose miniatures? The short answer is yes, slightly. Now we'll get onto that in a moment. Now I would suggest you build the first unit using the instructions, and then the second unit, once all your pieces are prepared, you just have a free-for-all and you swap and match, and you swap and try to test fit different heads, different arm weapons and things like that. There are a number of spare parts in the set. This is the first time I'm showing you the spare parts. I got an extra base, don't know why, but here are all the different arms and the melee weapons, and you know, there's even a knob on Smasher Squig extra big chopper there. But some of the arms have the armor plate included, the shoulder pauldron thing. I think it's actually just one of them has that, and that's this one. So you've got to be really careful about which Ork you can attach that arm to. The slugger weapon arms typically go in pretty nicely to other Orks. The heads, you can definitely swap the heads around, but the torsos, the bodies and the legs are all in one pose. You can't swap them about. Now the set does give you an option of swapping this Ork with a thump gun with a slugger and chopper. I think the thump gun is a fantastic weapon anyway, even though Orks aren't really renowned for shooting. It does give you a decent 18-inch range, D3, strength 6, AP -1, damage D3 blast weapon, so it's not to be overlooked. All of those characteristics are very decent. Even with a ballistic skill of 5+, you might miss all of your shots. It's still quite funny, and if you get one of them off, you know, against weaker armies, you know, with the blast rule, that's going to be fantastic, especially from that 18-inch range. Just gives a bit of a sting to these, and I think it's a good trade-off from having that extra attack in close combat. But anyway, let's have a look at them all. You can technically build 2 knobs out of both of the units, but the knob is going to look the same. You kind of have to pick this claw for him and this pistol, because they work with this kind of knob torso. The legs are a similar size to the rest of the Beast Snaggas. Sorry, I should really show you a bit closer. But yeah, this is the knob. It works quite well. You know, the claw is a little bit, I want to say small compared to some of the choppers, but there we are. Then you've got the, you know, specialist weapon, you know, the thump gun. And then you've got a multitude of Snagga Boyz. So some of them just standing about like that. Some of them actually, you know, shooting with their, you know, gangster grip going on with their pistols at side. You've got one Ork running. I know it's rare. I'd like to see more Orks running. Why can't we have more Orks running? You know, that would be great. So you've got an Ork running. This one is kind of running. He's about to charge. This one sort of moving forward, quite heavy set. I like that one with the pizza cutter. Dual pizza cutter, excellent. Cut 2 pizzas at once. Yeah, this one, sort of squinting as he's firing. Probably not going to hit anything, but there we go. This one is moving forward. I like all the aesthetics to these, you know, the shoulder pauldrons to the, you know, beast cloaks and things they're wearing. So I think there's a good selection there of running Snagga Boyz and kind of stomping forward. A couple of them just standing their ground and roaring or firing. Maybe 1 or 2 more running would have balanced it out, but overall I'm very, very happy with the poses, with the aesthetics, with the loadouts, with the sizes, with their posture. Their, you know, the new Ork Boyz as well look pretty decent that are coming out, and I'm really looking forward to giving you a comparison between the new Ork Boyz and these Snaggas. So size comparisons then. The first thing I'll do is just compare them to the other models in the box. We'll kick off with the HQ. So this HQ is he's not really taller than the knob, which is a bit awkward, and he is on this scenic base thing. He's more of like a souped up runt herd, but he is, I'd say, knob sized. He's got that big grip snagger weapon thing, but yeah, he's gonna blend in a little bit, other than that massive base that he's on. I mean, I think he should have been on a Terminator base, that's my opinion, but yeah, he's going to blend in a bit with the Snagga Boyz, but he certainly does stand out with all that hair. I think if he didn't have the hair, he'd blend in even more. But that's where he stands next to them. We've got one of the Squig Hog Boys, which are Squig Hog height, taller than the Snagga Boyz, which is great. And then you've got the knob on Smasher Squig, which rises above absolutely all of them. And commands a big presence from the rest of them. Next to current models that are out, you've got, let's just show you with this. This is the Ork Boy, and he's on a 25mm base, I think, and these are on, I think, 32mm, from what I can gather. The Snagga Boyz do look bigger, meaner, tougher. Are they Primaris Orks? I don't know, but they're the size definitely seems, you know, the same. You know, comparing Space Marines to Primaris to Ork Boyz to Snagga Boyz. You know, it might be their posture though, more than anything. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to giving you a comparison with the new Ork Boyz, but that's where they stand next to Ork Boyz, so they are going to be bigger. If you've got a load of old Ork Boyz and you don't want to get the new ones, don't know why, then you know, these Snagga Boyz are definitely going to stand out and going to be bigger. Next to my knob, though, my knob is bigger than the Snagga Boyz. Next to the Snagga knob, though, oh, I'd say the Snagga knob is a little bit taller, but again, to do with posture more than anything. But there you go. And then finally, compared to Ghazghkull, I always like to do this size comparison because Ghazghkull is the biggest Ork model I have. Yeah, look at the size of Ghazghkull next to these. It almost looks like a Primarch next to Space Marines, doesn't it? I mean, absolutely fantastic size there. Final size comparison I always like to make is just with some Space Marines and Sly Marbo, which is right here. So we've got Sly Marbo, we've got Primaris, Space Marines. I mean, you know, these Snagga Boyz next to Space Marines, they are almost the same height as Space Marine, so that's good. They're not quite the same height. I always think Orcs should be a bit smaller than your normal super soldiers. But then next to Primaris, yeah, the Ork Snagga Boyz heads come up to the chest plate, which again is about right. Sly Marbo, so anything sort of guard, so Deathcore Krieg and things, they probably come up to like jawline, which is fine. So there you go. That's the comparisons next to all the models I can possibly think of right now. And I hope those size comparisons have helped. Let's get into their rules. So these Beast Snagga Boyz then, they are a brand new core unit. They are the third troop choice for your Orks. They join the ranks of Gretchen and Boys. I do wish that Orks had a couple more troop choices, like a little squig herd or squiggly beasts, Scout Gretchen, you know, something like that. Scout Gretchen Scouts, Gretchen Spotters, I don't know. Anyway, they are added to the troop section, and they will cost you 5 power points, 11 points per model. The thump gun will cost you an additional 5 points. How do they compare to Boys? Well, they are 2 points more expensive than Boys. Boys are still 9 points per model. So what do you get for these extra couple of points then? Well, their movement speed is 5 inches, weapon skill is 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 5, toughness 5, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 6, and a save of 6+. How does that compare to a normal Ork boy? Well, the only difference is they are stronger. They have a strength 5 instead of a strength 4. And remember, they have the Beast Snagga rule, so they're getting a 6+ invulnerable save, something that Boys do not have. So you're getting the 6+ invulnerable, and you're getting a better strength for your 2 extra points. Your unit size will be smaller though, so you can have a maximum of 20 compared to 30 in the boy unit. You can have a Beast Snagga Nob, which has 2 wounds and 3 attacks, and a leadership 7, which is exactly the same stat line as the Boss Nob, but the Boss Nob does have that strength 5, same as the Beast Snagga Nob. If this unit contains 11 or more models, it has a power rating of 10. The Beast Snagga Nob is equipped with a Slugger, Power Snapper. Every Beast Snagga Boy is equipped with Slugger and Chopper. So the Slugger works as normal. It's a 12-inch, pistol 1, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1 weapon. Nothing to write home about. But the Thump Gun is an 18-inch Assault D3, strength 6, AP -1, damage D3, blast. That's really, really worth taking, especially it's an assault weapon and it's 18 inches. The Chopper, it's a strength of the user, which is 5, AP -1, damage 1, and each time the bearer fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. So you're getting your 3 attacks there each, which is the same as normal boys. The Power Snapper, though, is something that is unique to the Beast Snagga Nob. You can't get the Power Snapper for the Boss Nob, for the Ork Boys. You can instead have a Big Chopper, Kill Saw, Power Claw, Power Stabber, or Slugger. The Ork Boys Nob doesn't have access to this Power Snapper, and it's a strength +2, that's strength 7, AP -2, and a damage of 2. So that's a nice little juicy sting in the tail there. You're getting a strength 7 weapon with a good AP and a good damage and no effect to his weapon skill. For every 10 models in this unit, 1 Beast Snagga Boy's Chopper and Slugger can be replaced with 1 Thump Gun. So yeah, if you've got 20 of them, you can have the 2 Thump Guns in there, potentially shooting 6, strength 6, damage D3, blast shots there. Yeah, their ballistic skill is 5+, but you know, so there might not be a huge chance of them hitting anything, but it's still a nice little extra. Abilities: Beast Snagga, Here We Go, Mob Rule, and War. Keywords: Orks, Clan, Infantry, Mob, Core, Beast Snagga Boyz. So there you go. That is my review of the Beast Snagga Boyz. Why would you get them over the normal Ork Boys? It's mainly because of that strength 5 and the invulnerable save, and they add 1 to their attacks against monsters and vehicles. So if you're going against a monster heavy army, it's worth using these. Still, I'm not a big fan of the smaller mob size of 20. All Orks have this extra toughness now. They've got the toughness 5, so that does increase their survivability. But just for filling out your detachment slots, if you're going down that route, yeah, taking 2 units of 10 is fine. But for survivability, I'd really try and go for having 20 of them with 1 knob in there. Why would you pick the boys? Well, with the boys, they're still getting that toughness 5. They're still getting the extra attacks with their choppers. They don't get the invulnerable save, but they do have access to a number of weapons. They can have shooters, which have the new DACA rule. And for every 10 models. You can give them a big shooter or rocket launcher. Again, the big shooter has the new DACA rule, and rocket launchers are heavy D3 now, and they have the blast rule, so there's a bit of a buff there. And the boss knob arguably has access to higher strength weaponry in the form of you know, power stabber and the kill saws and the power claws and things like that, and combi weapons such as combi rockets and combi scorchers. So there are arguments for it and against them. If you like the aesthetic of the Snagga Boyz and the Squig Hog boys and the Squig rigs, then you know, these Snagga Boyz jumping out of those things or jumping off them is arguably going to look a lot cooler. What do you guys think of the Beast Snagga Boyz? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For Gork and Mork.